Summary of Happy Sexy Millionaire. Unexpected Truths About Fulfillment, Love, and Success, by Stephen Bartlett, written and narrated by Janky Mind. Introduction. Happy Sexy Millionaire is a captivating blend of personal reflection, practical advice, and a heartfelt appeal to the connected generation of today. It challenges conventional notions of success, urging us to prioritize fulfillment, genuine relationships, and intrinsic achievements as the authentic measures of a truly enriching life. The narrative unfolds through the lens of Stephen Bartlett's remarkable journey, from a challenging upbringing in a small village to becoming a CEO at 25 with a six-figure net worth and a massive social media following. Imagine waking up at 25, the CEO of a thriving startup, jet-setting in first-class luxury to international destinations from your plush New York residence. One day, your company goes public, valued at a staggering $200 million. How would you feel? For Stephen Bartlett, this momentous achievement left him surprisingly empty, prompting a profound re-evaluation of his beliefs about life. At first glance, Bartlett's story appears to follow the classic rags to riches narrative, emerging from a struggling background in Botswana, Africa. However, his journey involved being expelled from school, leaving university, and facing disownment. His relentless pursuit of success led him to scrawl a bold goal in his diary at 18, to become a happy, sexy millionaire. 7 years later, he achieved this milestone, yet the external success masked an internal emptiness. Over time, Bartlett discovered that his initial goals were misguided, shaped by societal expectations. His 18-year-old self sought fulfillment, love, and genuine success, values he ultimately found but not in the places society had dictated. If you're ready to break free from the illusion of the happy, sexy millionaire, and embark on a journey towards true fulfillment, love, and success, Stephen Bartlett is here to guide you. Fasten your seatbelt and let Bartlett navigate you towards becoming the authentically fulfilled, loved, and successful person you are meant to be. Chapter 1. Overcoming the Comparison Trap. Had Stephen Bartlett's family remained in their modest village in Botswana, his perspective on enough and life's true priorities would have been vastly different. The average life expectancy in that setting was just 49 in the early 2000s. Instead, Bartlett found himself at the opposite end of the spectrum, navigating life at the lower rungs of society in the UK. Comedian Dave Chappelle's poignant reflection on growing up resonated with Bartlett, as he realized that his parents had worked hard enough to enable him to experience poverty amidst affluent white communities. The human brain is inherently wired for comparison. Faced with an overwhelming influx of information, our brains resort to relativity, constantly comparing and contrasting, to make swift decisions throughout the day. While this ability is advantageous, it becomes a detriment in today's hyper-connected era. No longer confined to comparing ourselves with those in close physical proximity, platforms like Instagram and the Internet expose us to the lifestyles of not just the Joneses but also the Kardashians. The antidote to this detrimental pattern is to shift our focus. Rather than measuring our growth against the curated lives of social media influencers, the key is to compare ourselves to the person we were yesterday. Acknowledging and appreciating the progress we've already made is a practice often neglected but immensely beneficial. If needed, take proactive steps such as muting or unfollowing individuals who contribute to this negative cycle online, and extend the same principle to real-life interactions. If you choose to keep inspirational figures and role models in your life, whether virtual or real, be selective. Opt for a few genuine individuals who embody healthy ideals rather than those merely flaunting their latest sponsorships. By recalibrating our comparison tendencies and surrounding ourselves with positive influences, we can escape the trap of unhealthy comparisons and foster personal growth. Chapter 2. Embracing Genuine Connections. Stephen Bartlett contends that while marriage, cohabitation, or parenthood may not be universally suitable, genuine human connection is a fundamental need for everyone. Supported by scientific findings, a recent study of adults in Western countries revealed that nearly half of the 20,000 participants felt a sense of loneliness and lacked meaningful social interactions. Alarmingly, the so-called connected generation is identified as the loneliest ever recorded, with loneliness linked to early mortality and susceptibility to diseases. Bartlett, along with his comrades in the world of hustle porn, Dom and Anthony, learned a vital lesson through personal trials. Starting his second company at 21, Bartlett spent the next 5 years immersed in a life of glamorous yet solitary 16-hour workdays, often sleeping overnight in the office. Despite being a prominent figure in the social media business, his life was devoid of genuine social connections. Dom and Anthony shared a similar lifestyle, dismissing anyone not burning the entrepreneurial candle at both ends. The wake-up call came when Dom was diagnosed as a functioning alcoholic, and Anthony struggled with anxiety and depression, forcing Bartlett to reassess their work-centric lives. Bartlett doesn't advocate for the notion that work is inherently evil. Instead, he emphasizes that work, for him and his companions, was a source of immense stimulation and joy. The issue lay in the sacrifices made for work. Just as neglecting physical needs leads to physical sickness, neglecting psychological needs results in psychological distress. Committing to romantic relationships, strengthening friendships, and spending more time with family may never align with the perfect time in our hectic lives. Bartlett encourages embracing these connections today. Despite the challenges, he has personally prioritized time with friends, regular calls to his mom, and intentional efforts to cultivate intimate relationships amidst the demands of his work. While acknowledging the difficulty, Bartlett attests that this shift has significantly transformed his life, as well as the lives of Dom and Anthony, for the better. Chapter 3. Rethinking the Passion Pursuit. In a surprising twist, Stephen Bartlett dismisses the popular advice of "follow your passion" as nonsense, and intriguingly, there's research to support his stance. The common belief that we can accurately predict what will make us happy is debunked by our inherent shortcomings in this area, illustrated perfectly by Bartlett's own experience when he became one of the wealthiest under 30-year-olds in the UK. Traditional career counseling often encourages envisioning a dream job, assuming we all possess a clear understanding of what that entails, with the expectation that everything will magically fall into place once it's written down. Bartlett challenges this approach, suggesting that we should create our passion. While the concept of "create your passion" may lack the succinctness of the current mantra, Bartlett argues that it holds more weight and requires active involvement on our part, perhaps a tough sell for a generation seeking instant gratification. Drawing from his extensive experience in business and entrepreneurship, Bartlett identifies 5 essential ingredients that consistently contribute to a meaningful career: task engagement, opportunity to serve, alignment with skills, supportive colleagues, and work-life harmony. While the proportions of these elements may vary from person to person and over time, Bartlett encourages individuals to assess their current jobs against these metrics. Are any elements entirely absent? Can improvements be made in one or more areas? For those in job transitions, these 5 factors can serve as valuable filters in the search for a fulfilling career. This isn't a call for widespread resignation or a rejection of traditional jobs in favor of fleeting influencer aspirations. On the contrary, Bartlett advocates recognizing that our dream job might be within our current reach, if we invest effort into shaping it accordingly. Ultimately, the grass is greener where we nurture it, not where it's filtered for Instagram. Chapter 4. Diversify your skill stack. Stephen Bartlett candidly acknowledges the surprising nature of his entrepreneurial success, considering his expulsion from high school and departure from university after just one lecture. Despite not claiming to be the best in his field, he has achieved considerable success, attributing it to his skill stack, a unique blend of diverse yet complementary competencies. In today's hyper-globalized world, Bartlett advocates for skill stacking, emphasizing the effectiveness and enjoyment of being in the top 10% across a variety of skills rather than excelling in just one. This approach, he believes, makes work both more valuable and satisfying. By defining and developing a personalized skill stack, individuals can liberate themselves from the competitive race to the bottom and instead revel in the virtuous upward spiral of operating in a class of one. Creating a personal skill stack is a straightforward process that begins with self-reflection. Start by listing the skills in which you believe you rank in or near the top 10%, whether it's cooking, gardening, teaching, or marketing. Next, identify the top 2 or 3 skills deemed essential in your industry, and assess whether you currently sit in or near the top 10% for each. If not, prioritize honing these core proficiencies in the coming months. To set yourself apart further, consider competencies uncommon to your profession. Brainstorm skills or traits rarely seen in your workplace, such as public speaking for a software programmer or coding for a salesperson. Once your core proficiencies are closer to the top 10%, make 1 or 2 of these unconventional skills your secret side missions. Surviving in today's uber-competitive age may seem challenging, but Bartlett contends that success is more accessible than ever. Being the best at one thing is no longer a prerequisite for being the best at something. Chapter 5. Cherishing every hour. Let's consider a lifespan of 80 years, which translates to approximately 700,000 hours, with around 500,000 active hours, accounting for roughly 33 years spent in bed. Stephen Bartlett found profound perspective in fully grasping these numbers, and he maintains this perspective by keeping a specific image at the forefront of his mind. Imagine standing at a colossal roulette table called life. Each person arrives at the table with 500,000 chips, contributing 1 every hour to areas like work, family time, or exercise. The catch is that once a chip is placed, it cannot be retrieved or multiplied. Thus, it becomes imperative to spend these chips wisely. Bartlett, inspired by this metaphor, underscores the importance of consciously investing our limited time. Acknowledging mortality as a guiding principle isn't unique to Bartlett. Steve Jobs emphasized the significance of remembering our mortality when making life's significant choices. Similarly, Marcus Aurelius, over 2,000 years ago, advised living each day as if it were the last, devoid of frenzy, apathy, or pretense. Regardless of our societal roles, we all possess a similar number of chips at the roulette table. Bartlett urges everyone to clarify their values and priorities, using them exclusively to inform present behaviors and actions. What mountains are truly worth the climb? Which marathons are worth the run? Invest as many chips as possible in reaching these significant peaks or finish lines. Bartlett also suggests a practical strategy. Establish an aspirational hourly wage and make daily decisions with this rate in mind. For instance, if you value your time at $100 an hour, evaluate whether activities like cooking or cleaning are worth the investment. Outsourcing may be a viable option, allowing you to spend this time on pursuits aligned with your core priorities. In the grand scheme, the house always wins. None of us walks away with chips in hand. True success lies in making intentional, inherently satisfying bets while we still have the opportunity. Summary. The pursuit of true fulfillment, love, and success goes beyond the external trappings of wealth or physical appearance. Mental well-being, genuine relationships, and personal growth are the keys to a truly enriching life. While there's nothing inherently wrong with aspiring to rock-hard abs or a seven-figure net worth, it's crucial to recognize that external achievements alone won't fully satisfy our internal needs. The wisdom lies in understanding that the journey toward a fulfilled life involves more than material success. Fortunately, we don't have to learn this lesson the hard way. By embracing the mindsets and strategies offered by Stephen Bartlett, we can navigate our paths more intentionally. Even adopting just one of his insights can bring us closer to becoming the fulfilled, loved, and successful individuals we aspire to be. It's about aligning our goals with our genuine desires and recognizing that true satisfaction comes from within. This audiobook summary was brought to you by Janky Mind. We hope you enjoyed it.